Hey guys, we're going to get stuck into the victory conditions again. Before we get started, I just want to talk about what some people have said to me. Like they don't want to do the VCO3 route system, they want the short long, and so can VCO provide that? And so I'm going to let you in on a little secret. I've taken some screenshots here. So on the left we've got VCO, the three routes. On the right we've got the CA vanilla. Now what's the difference between these? The secret is there is no difference really. It's all just smoke and mirrors. There's nothing inherently different about VCO. We've just renamed it. So short got renamed to Route 1, long Route 2, and then domination Route 3. That's all there is to it. The only thing that CA have done is this little part right here. Bloody hell, this one right here. Achieve the short victory conditions. This is a script-based condition, which I can show later, probably in the advanced stage. But that's how they're enforcing a linearity. So the short, you won't be able to finish Route 2 in inverted commas, the long, without Route 1 first being completed because that part will never check off. And so that's the only difference. And what I'm going to try to experiment with today is we'll actually try to make some more buttons, see how far we can push it. Because so you might want this short, long, and the domination, or you might want short, medium, long. So we'll make a second one there to sort of to enforce that linearity. That's really the only thing that's separating them. So yeah, just so if anyone's really worried about that, don't be. It's there's no real fundamental difference. It's all just renaming what's already there. I do want to talk about the pros and cons of Wolfie's three route system. I always found it. I was initially, when I first joined him, I was like, oh, I don't know, man. I just want to do short and longs like CA and just sort of tweak them. I'm not interested in this thing, and he explained it to me, and I found his explanation really compelling. And at that point, I was kind of convinced that the three route system is actually superior to the short long system. And I'll break that down now for you. All right, I'll read off a bit of a script here because there's a lot floating around in my head that Wolfie told me that I want to talk about with the three route system. Just some of the advantages it has over the short long. One of the big ones is the game itself, Total War Warhammer. Like a lot of games of its type, it has this problem, this kind of inherent gameplay problem that the longer the game goes, the more boring it gets, really. The game kind of loses steam in terms of fun factor, basically because of the game mechanics, like your research. As you get more and more research points, there's less compelling options to choose from, or you get the research rate really high and you even actually finish the research tree completely. Your heroes start maxing out on levels, or as you start getting close to max and you're kind of just auto leveling them. Even with the your settlements, you start getting so many, and settlement management sort of becomes a chore. So you can auto that as well. And the item system, which really should probably have some sort of automation system in the late game, but doesn't. Managing like dozens and dozens of items across all your characters just starts to become a chore. And even at the start of the game, a battle, like a manual battle, could literally mean the end of your campaign if you fail it. Whereas at the end, you have so many armies, and you're just painting the map, and it doesn't really matter. It all just turns into a big grind. So that's why if you do a short, medium, long, or a short, long domination, you're kind of encouraging players to keep going, to keep playing the game for a long time, which, from a fun factor point of view, I think you don't want to do that. That's why I like Wolfie's three route system better, because you're encouraging replayability where you just do one route and then quit, maybe play it again another time, try out the other route, and or if you want to keep playing, you can go. It's up to them if they want to keep going. If they're still having fun, they can. But if you commit to the short long domination, yeah, you'll often have this situation where you've spent all this time, but the if you look at the players, there's like a. I'll try and draw something. So if it's like, if this is like, if this is kind of like the one, two, three, your short, medium, long, and this is the player count. Maybe you start. Most players get to the first one, and then most people tap out trying to go for the long, and then you get to by the third, almost everyone's tapped out. And so even though you've spent all this time and effort on all three victories, that's not reflected in the player's experience of that. Most players aren't even going to see your final one if you enforce that linearity. Whereas if you do the three route method, I should really call this like short long D. Then and because if you try to design them in a way where I always try to design from like the start position and look in directions like, okay, go west or go east or go south or north. You don't always have that option based on the start position, but that's what I'm trying to do so that to try to break that linear experience and actually give players three choices right from the beginning. And then your player curve would look more like this. It would just kind of be you'd have some people doing this one, some people doing that one. Hopefully, it's just a bit more even, and your effort in designing them is more spread across the players. So that's one of the reasons why I like Wolfie's method better than what CA is doing. The next one is in terms of bugs. This is a big one because if you've got this linear system, short, long, or short, let's just say you're doing a short, medium, long, and the player has to finish the short to unlock the medium and has to do the medium to unlock the long. If you have a bug anywhere, and let's say all the achievement is locked behind the long, which it often is, or the biggest and best rewards are locked behind the long. If you have a bug that's stopping your first one from being complete, or your second one from being complete, that player is screwed now. They can't get the achievement. They can't get the big reward. Whereas Wolfie, by just giving the player the choice, it doesn't matter if there's a bug in 3 or a bug in 2 or a bug in 1 and 2. At least that player's like, I can still get my achievement through 3. So that's another good thing about it, is that it's a safety net as well in that circumstance. Alright, so that's all I wanted to say about Wolfies. I'm sure there's other advantages and disadvantages. I mean, one of the disadvantages would be the linear system itself has, if you're crafting a story like Carl Franz, short, he's gathering the elect accounts. Long, he's going out and gathering. Medium, he's going out and gathering allies from abroad, and then long, he's got everyone together for this epic battle against the end times. Enforcing the linear system there would be preferable from a narrative point of view. So it's not like the VCO is just perfect for everything. There are some reasons why you might still like short, medium, long. But it's just something to think about. Anyway, let's move on to the next topic. I just wanted to talk about the victory conditions because you probably want to know about them all. There's a bunch, and I've got a little list here. You can get this list. Just search these in global search in the data files, or you'll find them somewhere. I think they're in the victory. Some CA's actually got them all written down. There's actually heaps, but they're very old, like Rome and stuff. Like they're not even from Total War, Warhammer. Here, see, this one here actually says, but you could, if you wanted to, you could experiment with some. I haven't experimented with all of them, but there are a couple. It's funny, these ones here, I wrote they don't work, but yeah, sometimes they do work, but in like a very weird, buggy way, like they're displaying very weird. Or sometimes a big one that's you got to watch out for is they will uh, they will abort. You know, when a mission aborts, the UI will show that clearly, but objectives they're in a different part of the UI. They're down in that bottom here. They're down in this bottom section, and the UI was never built. The UI, you know, these were not ever supposed to abort, but you can make them abort by mistake. And when you do, they will tick off as if they're completed. Like a little tick will go on the left there. Those little boxes, but they've aborted, and people will get confused. And so that's if you're experimenting, you've got to really watch out for using things that can abort. These ones here, I'm pretty sure they're safe, but I don't know that for certain. Sometimes I get reports that somehow they've made it abort. I've never seen it myself, but I know somehow people can somehow abort some ones. Usually, a big one is where is it? I'll have to go back here. Destroy faction. If you don't have that little tag there, Confederation invalid. If you take that tag off and then they confederate, because you know confederate is inverted commas destroying them, they disappear. Like Dirthy gets confederated by Wood Elves. There's no longer a Dirthy faction. Then it'll abort because you didn't sort of allow for confederating to be captured. And there's another thing that they did when Total War Warhammer 3 first came out, they had to actually make this because everyone had all these complaints about Slaanesh, because Slaanesh has this play style of vassalizing. So there we go. They made another tag you can use. So it'd be like destroy or vassalize. We'll check that off as an objective. So yeah, those are the ones to look out for. And yeah, these ones scripted. I won't talk about them now. We'll have to talk about that in the advanced section. But that's where you sort of link into a Lua script. Where am I even linking that? Oh, I think Wolfie's done that thing where it's like he's written the code in that way. Yeah, where he's actually got this little dot thing, so that didn't work. But yeah, you're kind of pointing to a script and then it'll check off via the script. So that's really complicated for intermediate. We won't go into that. But yeah, what else will we talk about now? Let's just look at some common ones. And I'll timestamp this, so if you're just bored of this waffling, you can go to another one. The provinces one, the important thing here is you got to make sure this total matches, because if it doesn't, you could screw over the player. You could say like 17, and they'll never be able to get. They'll never be able to complete it if there's only 16 in the list. And I think I experimented once with 15. Or like making it less, so you only have to get. I think something went wrong there now, so check that out if you want to try to do like get only less, because I think it doesn't display properly. And this building one, one of these has actually got a bug by CA. Oh, are they all? Buildings. Oh, wait, I know what to do. Sorry. Where is it, this guy? This one. So instead of... What was it? yeah, instead of construct buildings in provinces, so you build a specific landmark in a specific province, and you've got to specify the faction tag as well. You can go, you can do construct n of a building. So here I'm saying construct 5. This just construct them anywhere. That's a really handy one to use, but unfortunately it's got this big bug at the moment. With that, it's been reported to CA flagged, and they know about it. It's on their little bug forum thing. Go upvote it if you can, please get more awareness. But I don't even know if you can upvote it once they sort of say that they've got it. I think that it stops the upvotes, unfortunately. But this has a bug where, so as long as you capture at least one save, load from the save, it'll check off as if you've captured all 5. So that kind of trivializes that objective, unfortunately. I really hope they fix that bug one day, because I love that as an objective, making people go out and build landmarks. Like, you can work around it a little bit with this one, but it's clunky. It takes up a lot more space on the UIs. So I hope they fix that one day. The pooled resource, that's always handy. So this one's looking for infamy, control and regions is another one you can do. So I'm a bit sneaky. I'm a bit cheeky with one of these. I'll let you in on a little secret. You can't unsee this, so I hope I don't ruin the game for you. But where is it? I always struggle to find these because they're never in the good order. There he is, Marcus. So I've done this one. This one, where is it? Oh, this one here. Control N regions from. So I actually have this. I use this one. I'd love to figure out a way to actually make it truly random, but it's got this little thing here where it says search for magical item by securing settlements via conquest or through vassals and military allies. So from the player's point of view, it's like, go out and conquer these settlements, and one of them will contain the seal of the exile. But it's all just a trick because I can't actually randomize it. So it's actually just going, as soon as you get the 3rd settlement, bang, that'll check off. But I've hidden that from the player. So from the players, when they're just reading that, they're thinking they're exploring, and I got it on the 3rd one. That was good. You can change up the number a bit, but it'd be nice to make that a truly random thing. Well, you don't want true randomness either. You want pseudo random, because you wouldn't want it to. You don't want to find it in the very first settlement. That could trivialize the whole route. So I'd be like, within 3 to 5, give them a chance to find the item. So that's another one. That's another little secret there. Have we talked about everything? Set piece battle is I always make this mistake too. This is for a quest. This is so you want to make sure the player completes a quest. But the mission table here's the key in the mission table, but it's actually looking for this one, the set piece battle column. So I always make the mistake sometimes of putting in the mission key instead of the set piece battle key, and then it'll crash, and it won't crash. The button won't appear, and so I've done it again. So that's that one to watch out for. And yeah, sometimes. So yeah, see how where is that? See how I've put this override text there, so I can overwrite the actual text, get it to say that. They don't all let you do that. This one's one of the. I haven't actually experimented which ones do it, but this one's one of the few. So the province one, I don't think it allows. If you try to do that, it'll just, error button doesn't appear. So yeah, that's something to check out as well. Alright, what should we talk about next? I'm looking at my list here of things to tell you guys. Alright, I think it's time to get stuck in now. Let's go. All right, let's get stuck in with the first thing, which is the title. So we want to make, when you use these generic ones, they're just saying route 1, 2, or 3. Let's make our own ones. So we want to go victory types tables. And here's where we'll experiment. So here you'll see these buttons here, these numbers 0, 1, 2, that's the placement on the screen back here. See 0, 1, 2. So let's actually do a little test. Let's see how far we can go with this. And then I leave this as short. I think you can change that to that this will be the type of objective that comes up. So I've got as long, but you can do short. It's like the pop-up when you get the victory will be a different little movie depending on what length type is. If you want to see them all, just go to it here or in the data folder in RP in the pack file manager, and then yeah. So here we go. Look at this. We've got short, long. Is that all there is? Short and long? Okay. Oh, there's an icon for ultimate, but it's just still long. Alright, so let's see what happens. We'll say Araby 1. I don't even know what's going to happen. Chuck that there. And now you want to make a lock file, so what is a lock file? It is just text. If you've been modding, you probably know what they are. It doesn't really matter what the file is, you can separate them out. We'll just keep it contained for now. Oh wait, what have I done? Delete. Victory types. Grab a couple of those. Grab these. Oh wait, you want to make sure that see that this part right here, this is important. You need to get that part right or it won't work. Little tag there. So it's the tag plus the key. What is even going to happen? Let's call it Desert Dunes. Desert Struggle. Hunt for the Gin. Sultan's Rage. You know, don't ask me to make flavor text on the fly, guys. 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm trying to just test how far we can push this. Next, we go to here and this victory type. That's so yeah. That's how you get your custom route title. Now, gotta make sure I get this right. This is the part you wouldn't really do, but I've already screwed it up, have I? Why'd it go a different color like that? Oh, yep. How many is that? Alright. Let's see what happens. Alright, moment of truth, guys. I have no idea if this is even gonna work. Let's see. Oh, it worked! Okay, so hold up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, wow. Oh, there's 7. Wait. 5, 6, 1. And then there's 7. 8? Ah, I can't get 8. That's actually different. When I last did this test, it kind of went the other way. It went like up the top and just sort of floated off the screen. So it was like they hadn't actually built the UI to accommodate that. So, well, that's interesting there. You can actually cleanly get 6 victory conditions if you want, and really 7 if you. I see some people have these mods. I don't know which mod they're using or if it's a setting, but they've actually got the objective part really large. It takes up half the screen, so maybe you could see all of them with that mod on. But yeah, that's interesting. So there you go. You can actually, if you want, you can go beyond the 3 root system. You can try out different numbers. The only thing I'd worry about is if you still want to support the crises, because they pop up once you unlock the crisis. They pop up as a button. I think in slot number 4 they appear. So maybe you leave that blank or something, right? Or you'd have to just accommodate that if you wanted to support that. I don't actually know what would happen. But yeah, that's good. That was interesting. That test actually worked and didn't look terribly ugly. So yeah, that's funny. Alright. Okay, we've talked about titles. We've talked about how you do not have to be beholden to 3. And you can title them however you want. You want to do short, medium, long, or blue, blah, blee, or whatever you want. Let's talk about flavor text, which is this is flavor text here, this part right here. So VCO dummy is what it's using. So we'll grab this one. We'll chuck it up top. You can put it wherever you want within the objectives. And then you want the lock file as well. So let's go. BCO Araby 1. Once again, look at this. Mission text. Get that part right. You get it wrong, it's not going to appear. So what happens? Where's the screenshot again? See how next to the objectives there's this little icon. Yeah, here. Look here. See how there's a little tick when it's completed, and then it goes red. That is what your flavor text will look like if you don't put the word dummy into it. It'll have that, and it'll all be red. So yeah, well, that's why we put dummy in front. It removes that little bit and keeps it as the white color. And that's something that Wolfie rigged up. And the other thing to talk about, yeah, are these colors, these color tags. Search CA to get the color tags. You can do some fun stuff with colors. You can also insert icons. Where have I done that? Let me see for you. Yeah, look here, search for, and see that there? That's me inserting an icon. And that's the file path. And then I insert a color as well. And I think I've got a list for you here. Here's a big list of colors. Where is it? Color guide? Yes. I even made myself a little color guide. So screeny that if you want as well. So you can mess around with colors in the flavor text as well. And yeah, that's how you do that. So we'll just say something like, the Sultan gathers his armies to challenge etc. for leadership. To challenge etc. to challenge the so-called King of Kings. His hubris will be his undoing. There can be only one master of the dunes. Dun, dun, dun. Not my best work. Alright. Alright, now we are going into the final section of this guide. The rewards. Oh, it's going to be a big one. There's so many rewards. I don't even know where to begin. Let's just begin with effect bundles. This here is the rewards section, and that's triggering the game victory to pop up, that little thing there. This one here is the dummy that Wolfie made, that just says it's just text. Usually when you see the word dummy, it means it's not doing anything, it's just text. So if you want to change that, yeah, just use global search is your best friend for these sort of things. So here you can see he's made an effect bundle called Campaign Victory. Completing a route will count as campaign victory and trigger the achievements. Blah 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 blah. There you place the icon you want. The icon is all the way down here. File path is this one, UI campaign UI effect bundles. Bundle target, we usually leave these as is. I haven't messed around with them too much. I don't even know. It just means it's applying to the whole faction. Yeah, look at what CA has done. Just remember what I said in the first video. Just it's always better to copy and then modify. Oh yeah, so sometimes they're targeting a character and region. I always just leave it or force. I've always left it as faction, I believe. So if you want to explore those, yeah, I can't help you there. I've only left it as faction. All right. It's a bit of this is a hard one to talk about just because it's got a lot going on. So let's just start with the effect bundle. Alright, so you're making a reward. First thing you do, make this table. Bang, so let's call it VCO Araby Route 1. Then you go back here, go down to your effect bundle. We leave Wolfie's dummy one there. That's just telling people, hey, this is you're gonna have victory. I'll show you. Actually, I think I can show you in the screenshot. Yeah, that's where is it? No, I can't show you in that screenshot. Never mind. I'll show you when we get in. All right. Whoop. Copy. Paste. Leave it at turn 0 if you want infinite, so you want the effect bundle to go forever. And change it. You can set it to if you want it to only have a couple turns. So we'll leave it as infinite. Next, the text. There's 2 elements to it. It's where is it? Effect bundles. As you can see here, we've got these two, this part, title, that's the title of the effect bundle, and the description, delete that. So what's the reward for Master of the Genes? Sultan Jafar is now the undisputed champion. Let all fear his name. Yep. So, and then if you want, you go, just to remind yourself, you can actually put the title and description here, but that actually doesn't do anything. Alright, so that is the most basic reward right there. This is just a dummy right now of text. So before we keep going, I'll just boot up the game to show you, so you can wrap your head around what we've just done and what it looks like in the game. Alright, let's see how we've gone. There, look. Route 1, Desert Struggle. The Sultan gathers his armies to challenge the so-called King of Kings, blah blah blah. Down at the reward. Oh my goodness. Well, there you go, you can watch me troubleshoot live. Let's see what's going on. Oh, that's what I did wrong. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, I think that's okay. I think it's because I didn't use an icon. Alright, retest. Alright, let's see if I embarrass myself further. Hey! Yep. Okay, so yeah, you gotta remember to put the icon in or it won't pop up. So yeah, this is an effect bundle. It's a bundle of effects, but right now we put no effects into it, so it's an empty effect bundle. It's flavor text and nothing else, which is what the campaign victory one is. It's the same thing. That's just telling the player you have victory. You can delete that if you want. You don't have to use that. That's just what we put on everything, just to for consistency. Yeah, so let's keep going. So we've done that. Now I used a VCO one, so you can look through the ones that I've got there. You can also use CA's ones from UI table. So where is it? Let's do it. Let's do it. Data UI. Oh, there's a lot of them. UI campaign UI effect bundles. So you can use anything here. You can just chuck that straight in. It'll work, any of these. But if you want to make your own one, you've got to do what I've done here and replicate the folder structure and then add them in. So yeah, that's how you make your own custom icons, and then you specify it there. So let's just experiment. We'll do this one. Oh, that one comes up too. That's it, because it doesn't know that it's pulling from VCO, so it doesn't show up. But this way, it does show up. All right. Now let's add effects to our effect bundle, guys. Let's actually do it. We've been talking so long about having rewards. Now we're going to actually finally make some. What we want: effect bundles to effects junctions. Now I make a lot of my own effects too, but oh boy, this video would get bloated if I did that. I think we'll stick with CA. We'll stick with CA because come on now, I can't teach you everything. Maybe one day. Alright, effects. Let us go to effects. What's CA got going on? Alright, so I'll close up some things. We need to know some things. What do we want as an effect? Research? Let's just say he's the master of the dunes now. He's going to get a 25% increase to his research speed. Now, effect scope. That is a big one. You get that wrong, it doesn't work. Now, what is the best way to ensure you get that right? That's what I told you in the first video. Copy, then modify. If you try to wing it with the effect scopes, you'll essentially have dummy effects that look like they're doing something, but they're not doing anything. So it's like, damn, what is the effect scope here? We go to this table, effect bundles to effect junctions. We try to copy CA. Ah, we see here CA's used this one all the time. What did they use? They used different ones for different circumstances. we will stick with faction to faction own unseen. That's what I use for research. You can take away the unseen part, and then it'll say faction wide. There's the string. We will keep it unseen just so it looks cleaner. Now, if you want to look at all the effect scopes, you go here. There are a lot of them, and it's very easy to put the wrong one in and it won't work. So I always try to be safe and copy with CA. But even CA is using different ones. So, like province to faction unseen. What is that? Edict. Okay, so that's what is that? That's when you control the whole province, right? And you pick the edict. So that's why it's coming from the province. So you can kind of figure out what's going on there. But yeah, we'll stick with faction to faction own. Sometimes they tell that's the Epidemus UI in the top middle of the screen. There, for some reason they didn't use unseen tag. You can see even CA is a bit inconsistent, but I'm sure they all work. What's this one? Grombrindle's forced to faction. What? Oh yeah, okay. See, look here. They've said dummy, so that one. If you see the word dummy, it means it doesn't do anything. Don't even, if you want to do something, don't use anything with dummy. What that means is they're probably using that in a script somewhere, which is more advanced. So, okay, we're giving research. What else do we want to put in this effect bundle? Let's go with weapon strength. Now, there's different weapon strength. See, this is 4 stat. Well, what if we can give the all your armies some more weapon strength? Let's go instead character. We want to just give it to the man himself, Jafar. Well, how do you do that? If you do character to character own, that won't work. It'll go to. You'd probably want like faction to character own, right? Faction to character own. Yeah, faction to character own all characters. So that's how you give weapon strength to all characters. But we want to actually give it to just Sultan. So we'll go. I think it's leader faction. Yeah, faction to faction leader. Or you can do faction to faction leader's army. See here. So we will do that. So yeah, definitely you can try experimenting when you're more confident, but for now just stick with copying CA and then modifying where you can. And if an effect doesn't work, it's usually because you've got the wrong scope. And you can put a minus here too if you want to debuff. Chuck in a minus, you can actually debuff him. What else? He's in the dunes. So what if you make him desert attrition? Immune to desert attrition. Oh, how does that one work? Let's find out what CA does. There we go. They use faction to force own. Bang. Alright, you've done it, boys. That's your first effect bundle. We'll test it out in a sec. One other thing I'll show you is for testing purposes, I like to use, got a little copy paste here, defeat n armies of faction total 1. So whenever I'm doing a little test, I'm just going to delete this, save, and you can undo it later. But I don't really care, I'll just delete it forever. Alright, so we'll test that. But since we're on a roll here with the rewards, let's do another one. Let's do another common reward that I like to use, which are ancillaries. Oh, and here's reward too. You can actually give them pooled resources. So for Marcus Wolfart, that's like his bar across the top. Gave him 10 of those. Again, just trying to copy how CA does it. So let's do it. Let's do this one. Now, because you're using VCO, I actually think you can just leave it like that and it'll actually pull everything from VCO's tables. If you wanted to just steal some of my items, just go for it. But usually you probably have your own idea for your own cool items. So there we go. These are all the tables implicated in creating your own custom item. So you want to replicate that. Again, copy, then modify. Don't try to just make it all on your own. You'll screw up probably 1,000 things and it won't work. I did this, I forgot to put this one in once. So there was something actually wrong with Rusted Pack File Manager where these columns were obscured, but they were defaulting to a value, and I actually had my items degrading. You know, if this wasn't set right, they would like it would like my it's like this is a holdover from like Rome days, like where they're all ancillaries. Like the dude is actually dying of old age. Your items can die of old age if you don't leave those like that. And there's different types. So enchanted item type is the type of this, the slot, the talisman, the armor, the weapon. So I'll just show you these. I won't go through making it because I'm too lazy. And then that one, you just copy that, and then here's where you make your effects. It's the same thing as the effect bundle, but this time it's an ancillary. We're kind of assigning effects to the item, to the ancillary. And then lastly, the flavor text. Make sure you get this part right. This is the part you want to copy, and then that part's the name of the item. So it's just the title and the flavor text, and then you go into your script here and you go add ancillary faction pool, and you throw that in there. Yep. So that's how you do that. Let's instead check out. Let's just go. Cetra have some sort of, oh yeah, plate of Satet. So there are some pitfalls. So let's just say I'm trying to directly copy this. I don't think it would actually work. And the reason for that, I'll show you now. Oh, come on now. Whoop. Transferable, yes. Yeah, look here, see this? This is something, you try to copy an item, you'll get stuck with this. Ink set exclusive Tomb Kings. That means if you're trying to give it to your Araby buddy, he's not a Tomb King, the item just won't appear. You'll be like, what? What's going wrong? It's not working. So I think if you notice with me, what have I done? Faction set. Yeah, see, I've left it all on all. That way, don't have that problem. So that is a pitfall. If you try to it's annoying because you're like, oh, I want the Sultan Jafar to kill. You just kill Setcher and take his sword, and you just copy paste. That doesn't work. You have to make the item from scratch, and you have to change it to all, or you have to data core, change it to all. I wouldn't recommend that. That's messy. So yeah, we're really stuck with also. We want to use. We're still just being lazy. We want to copy what CA has done. So we will go. Oh crap! Which table is it? This one. All. Jeez, there's only 3 all items in the entire game. For real? Oh, no, never mind. Yep, okay. Now we've got a bunch. Shield of Petra. That sounds like something Cetra would have. We nicked that from him. Yoink. This is ours now. Alright, we'll do a test in a sec, but let's keep talking about ancillaries. There's a couple more pitfalls. There's a couple of nuances. So followers, if you're making a follower, which isn't it's not an item, it goes in a different part of the screen. They have a little bit more going on. So let's look at my follower called the Mushroom Adelice, which there's one other table you need. Ignore that. I've just made that a reward for a mission, so ignore that. This table, which is how you assign the image of the follower. So you need that. And sometimes you want to actually make items. You may want to make an item exclusive to a character. I believe I've done that in the past for the Orc-Scalibur. Ah, see here, the Orc-Scalibur. I didn't want just any old orc to have the Orc-Scalibur. I only wanted certain people. So here, this is another problem if you may try to copy items and you're like, oh, I got this item, but it's not even letting my dude equip it. It's because here in this table you can assign, so the weapon Orc-Scalibur, I made it so it could only be equipped by these people, agent subtype, which is agent subtype here. So let's just say, you know, you wanted it to only be Jafar. Well, I don't know what his code is, but yeah, that's how you could make it so if you only wanted the item to be equipable by certain people. And then you can also do things like if you uncheck transferable, once they equip it, they can't unequip it, which could be a handy thing to do for like a some sort of cursed object maybe. Which other column is important to know? Yeah, the uniqueness score. That's what makes it have different color. What do we got here? Yeah, so experiment with these, but 200 is the nice purple color for that epic item. Then there's other, you can get the greens, the blues, the uncommons, the whites. Is that it? I think that's all of them. I can't remember. So yeah, I don't have the colors written down for which is which because I always use purple, but yeah, there's different colors. You chuck in the different colors there. Turns before swap allowed. So okay. Set to -1 to lock the item to the character once equipped. Oh, so that's, you can do that instead of transferable. Okay. That's another option. And your followers will have this subcategory. So just, yeah, try to really copy this table. Yeah, if you're making a follower, don't try to make an item and modify it. You'll probably fuck something up. Just copy a follower. You'll get it all right. You'll need this column category has to match with type. See, so you could screw up if you're just sort of manually doing it. You could go weapon, type, armor, probably glitch out on you, crash or something. And then follower needs this little subcategory here. And then, oh, have I ever made a banner? Because banners, oh yeah, look, there we go. What's this one? Banners are different as well, slightly. Or are they just? I think they're just the same as a follower, right? Oh no, yeah. So banners have two other tables that you've got to watch out for. If you're making a banner, what's a banner? A banner is kind of like a follower, but you can equip them on guys in the battles, the manual battles. And unit set, I think. Oh yeah, unit set. So that's like, you know how you get those ones that like gives range to artillery, so it won't let you equip it on other units. That's you're controlling that with unit set. So again, yeah, I won't dive into that. But I've only ever used it once. But that's what that's that about. So that covers everything about the ancillaries. I'm pretty sure that covers it all. All right, let's wrap this video up. It's probably gone way too long. Let's wrap it up with a test. One last test.
Commander of Jin.
Alright. There we go, Master of the Dunes. You get immune to desert attrition, research rate plus 25, weapon strength plus 15. And you get the Shield of Petra. And you get victory. Let's do it.
The Serpent Lord.
Instead
Commander
of go
of
off
Jin.
of one for testing purposes. Wah! Bang! Victory! Route complete. See that? Oh, so they've already got their own custom victory one. Glory to you, glory to us. Shield of Petra rewarded, and up here, that's your effect bundle applying. So what research should now? I don't know how it works, but it should be buffing your research. And what's that all about? And then weapon strength 15.
The Serpent Lord.
You can see his weapon strength has been buffed. So there you go, guys. We've done it. We've done it all. You should be good to make some very nice custom routes now with those intermediate skills. And don't be afraid to. If you don't want to stick to the three route system, you don't have to. I hope I've shown you that you can mix it up. You can do short, medium, long. Yeah, if you want to do short, medium, and long, we'll have to talk about that in advance because you have to do this scripting thing. Alright, let's try to end with that. What do we want? This is the vanilla script. Jeez, I'll never find it this way. If you want to do that, the linear method, I'll have to show how to do that in the next one. It's tricky. You need to know some Lua. I can show you just how to copy paste the thing, but basically you need a way to be like, okay, have they completed the first route? Yes, detect that, and then check, where is it? The screeny. Make that little tick there. You make with the script, you make the tick go. So this will, when it detects that this is done, it detects that this is complete, and then it checks that off, and that turns red. And then if you want to do that again, you could do it again and make it go detect this one gets completed, and then this checks off, and more if you want to do more buttons. But so that's how that works, and that's a bit more advanced. So if you really want to do that, we will talk about that in the next video. Alright guys, I know I've rambled and I'll try to edit it a bit to be a bit more concise, but I hope you've learned what you need to do to make some awesome custom victory objectives. Alright, good luck guys.